Hello, Cancer. Elsie here to do a reading for you. How are you, my friends, my watery friends? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I'm here to do a 9-card read for you. Let's get a deck and let's do that, huh? Let's find out what is going on for you, Cancer. And please remember that this is not just a reading for Cancer Sun. This is Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And speaking of Jupiter, Jupiter is now direct in your sign, right? And what does that mean? Well, something that you have been internally working on is finally going to start showing up in the real world. So this is going to be your momentum returning. And something you've quietly been growing is ready to move forward here, Cancer. So this is a happy time for you. You might feel a little bit of relief or feel like things that were stuck are now ready to move forward. Cancer, let's find out what's going on in this 9-card draw. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to find your own personal reading and how to find the extendeds if you're interested in that. Thank you so much for your thumbs up and for your hypes. If you like this programming, it's how you're growing your own tribe, your Cancer tribe. Let's find out what's going on here for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. We've got the Hierophant. We've got the Queen of Cups. Oh, and the Emperor is here. I feel like something has stalled or has stopped moving, or it feels like somebody was too stubborn to show their feelings, to acknowledge their feelings or how they felt about something. I feel like somebody was more like standing on business. And I feel as though somebody here is about to take control of a situation that is deeply emotional for you. Now, I don't really know what that means. It could mean romantic things. It doesn't have to be. But I feel like it means something it's very deeply emotional for you. And so it feels like something could have been stuck or stagnant because the Hierophant is stubborn. I'm just saying, that's Taurus energy, right? So we could be looking at it as the energy of something that was not moving forward because I feel like it was too personally emotional for you. The Emperor is here taking charge, though, and saying it's time for me to take charge of the situation, go get what I want. Tell me more about this. We've got, look at that. The Fool is here. Yeah, this is movement, definitely. Who just had this? Let me just think of who I just read for. Aries. I don't know if you have anything to do with Aries or if you have an Aries placement, but the Page of Swords showed up in the middle of Aries reading as well. The middle of the 9-card reading is the center. It's the heart of the matter. So I feel like the heart of the matter is this. I feel like you are, that you have been observing someone or something. It feels like I think that you feel you need to take action here, Cancer, before you regret not taking action. So the Page of Swords being at the center of your reading tells me that you've been in an energy of observation, observing feelings, observing how I feel about something, how deeply I feel about someone or something or a situation. It feels like you know that Aries energy, if you don't take action on whatever it is that you want, that you could be in deep regret about never saying it, just finally saying it. Like I feel like the Page of Swords is telling me that whatever you've been thinking about, I think that you've been thinking about how you feel about something or about someone, but I'm going to say that regardless of whether you're the man or the woman, I feel like the Emperor energy, you're probably in your masculine energy. And I'm going to say that the reason the Emperor is showing up here, even if you're a woman, is because I feel like if you want it, you have to go get it. That you have to go pursue it. I think that's the only way for something to move forward after it's been sort of stuck or stubborn or not moving for a while. I think that you've been observing someone or something. The Page of Swords is sort of looking over at the Fool, wondering, do I have enough information? Have I learned enough about how to take a leap of faith without losing everything? But if I don't move forward, I feel like I could be in regret, in deep regret for at least not saying something about how I feel on the situation. We've got the Ten of Wands in the reverse, and this has been very burdensome. I think you're very close to letting go of this burden, but I'm going to say that this is a choice. Like when I see the Ten of Wands in the reverse, it feels like you get so used to carrying the burden that you don't really feel it anymore. But I feel like every morning you wake up and look in the mirror and there it is stuck to the mirror. Like it feels like it's always at the forefront of your mind because the Page of Swords is here with the Ten of Wands. We've got the Four of Wands and we've got the Nine of Cups. So I think you're contemplating on what may make you happy. What will be the best move for you? I feel like you're thinking about going to the next level of something. It could be in your career. It could be in a relationship. I feel like what you're contemplating, the Queen of Cups energy is Cancer energy, right? But Scorpio and Pisces as well, because we're in a general reading. But I feel like the Page of Swords energy is telling me that you're in contemplation about how to stabilize your emotions on something. It's like you feel too deeply about something. I think that you do want to be happy. I feel like you want to celebrate. It feels like you want to go to the next level of something. But it feels like you are still holding on, like you're not moving. You're not moving forward. I'm going to say it's up to you. If you want it, you got to go get it. You can pray as much as you want. You can meditate as much as you want. You can eat as much good food as you want. But if you don't get off your butt and go get it, you're not going to get it. You can hope and wish for it. You're not going to get it unless you get up and do it. The Emperor knows that for sure. But I'm going to say that I think that the Page of Swords is here because the Emperor is sort of observing from a distance, which is what the Emperor would do. Because look, the Emperor does not have a long list of things they did not prevail in. Right? The Emperor is the winner. The Emperor is strategic. So I'm sort of circling the room, looking at the thing in the middle from all directions. Is this what I want? Is this going to, you know what I mean? It feels like you're very careful about how you show your feeling. Of course, that's Cancer energy, right? You're very careful about how you show your feelings on the surface. You go from the depths to the air, and that's like bringing feelings to the surface and telling somebody, look, you make me happy and I want to go to the next level. And it feels like the sadness here is this, if I don't act now, I could have regret. We're going to put two cards underneath this. This is what's going on underneath the surface. What you don't see is the Two of Pentacles. The decision is coming up, and it's coming up in the 3D, friend. It feels like you're trying to make the most balanced decision, but it feels like a decision is coming up because what's at stake is your happiness. I feel like you are happy by yourself. I'm going to say, I don't think you need this, right? The Emperor is not in need. The Emperor doesn't have need. The Emperor can fulfill themselves with work, with stability, right? The Emperor has got a lot of wisdom. The Emperor has a lot of years to think on things. The Emperor is okay being alone and is happy enough being alone. The Nine of Cups is, I'm happy on the inside and the outside, and I don't need external validation in order to be happy. But I think that the Five of Cups is saying, if I don't make the decision, or at least say something, anything, that I could be in deep regret about not taking this leap of faith. But I feel like this thing has been weighing on you forever. You know what I think you're scaredest about, Cancer? I think you're a commitment phobe. I think you're really scared about whether or not this person is going to want to commit or not. Now, it could be them that's a commitment phobe. It could be. But it feels like somebody here is scared that if I open the door, if I do say something about how I feel about the situation, and I do begin to pursue, is this person going to immediately want me to throw a ring on it? Feels like somebody's worried about something moving too quickly. Tell me about, where should we go first here? I feel like the Hierophant energy is telling me that you want to do the right thing, or you do want the emotional commitment, but it's like a question mark and I don't know what it is. Let's talk about it. We've got the Three of Wands. So I feel like you're very aware of what might be coming up in the future. Is this how I can expand my future? Is this going to be an expansion? Is this going to be exciting? What is out there? That means that I'm going to have to now, if I commit to somebody, I'm going to have to check in with somebody else before I go have my adventure, right? It feels like somebody here is not willing to change their position. So the worry is really that, what if I'm just at the beginning and everything, all this adventure is coming up, and what if the person doesn't want me to have my adventure? it feels like the worry is, am I too stuck in my ways in order to be able to carry on a relationship here? So the sun energy, I feel like you are going to find the answer. You're going to find the answer because the sun always reveals something, right? And I feel like the sun is going to reveal to you that you're very stuck in your ways, that you're not willing to do the give and take thing. It feels like somebody here is very stuck in their ways. It's been this way for a long while, and I feel like it should just stay that way. And look, that sounds like Emperor energy to me. It does sound like the Emperor can be an energy, understand? It doesn't have to be a man or a woman, or it doesn't have to be Aries. It can just be an energy. And the energy of the Emperor is, I get what I want. It's always been just me. I've always made the decisions for me. I've always made the decisions for the Empire. I don't have to ask anybody. I make unilateral decisions. That's what it feels like. Tell me about the Emperor. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, and it's been this way for a very long time. It feels like somebody who's probably older, because the Emperor is someone who has wisdom. Someone who's probably very good in business, Cancer. I know that about you. Whether it comes up in the sun or the moon or the rising, you're very good in business. I would say somebody who's been in business for themselves for a very long time, or has been building their empire, their financial empire for a while. We've got the Six of Swords. And we got the Nine of Wands. So I think you're on the edge of making a decision. Yeah, I feel like with the Nine of Wands, you're on the edge of making a decision, but I think that you're thinking about this a lot. And I think it keeps you awake at night. I think that the Six of Swords is telling me that you do want to move on. You want to get out of the chaos of this whole situation. You don't want to think about it anymore. I think you do want to hit the calmer waters, but I also feel like you've been hurt before. I think you've been hurt before, and it's been a very deep hurt, because I think you're still carrying around some sort of burden, understand? Something that you don't even notice you're carrying anymore, but I think it's really heavy. I think you're making a decision based on the Ten of Wands being in the reverse, that you are unable to unload some sort of trauma or some sort of hurt, wound that you've had from the past. I feel like you have not yet. It's like you have a car that is worth less than what you owe on it, but you go trade the car in and take on extra debt because, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like that. It feels like that, but in emotions, like you're taking on extra debt because you really haven't fixed something here that you're carrying around here. You have not look, see? We've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got the Ten of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you're carrying around some sort of emotional debt. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, and we've got the Four of Pentacles. Can I be vulnerable? I feel like right now you're really not, Cancer. I feel like right now your focus is on your livelihood, on your financial future, your time, your effort, your energy, your health. It feels like that's where your focus is right now. I feel like you avoid thinking about the emotional stuff or the romantic things because you don't really want to have to decide about it right now. But I feel an urgency. Like, I feel an urgency with you, Cancer, that if you don't make a decision about something here, that what could be at risk is your joy, your happiness, your family, or even if it's not a family, maybe it's just happiness or joy. I think you're misunderstood. I'm going to say, I feel like you're misunderstood. The Queen of Wands is in the reverse. I don't think you, I feel like you show everybody your independent face. Do you know what I mean? You're like, yeah, I'm good by myself. I've got my empire. I've built my castle. Dug the moat, threw some alligators in there. People just leave me alone. Unless I ask them to visit. It feels like this Queen of Wands in the reverse with the Judgment in the reverse feels like, but I feel people misunderstand you. It's not that you don't have passion, because you really do. It's just that you're very careful about who you let in your life. I feel like you have to make a decision here about whether you're going to walk away from this or not. I think it has to do a lot with your finances and the way you live your life. And I feel like you're very stable financially. And I mean, that means different things to different people. But I feel like you are ready to settle down. But you've been waiting for the Wheel of Fortune to tell you that it's time to push forward. I'm going to say wait. Wait, because I feel like the wheel is coming. And look, Jupiter just went direct, right? The Jupiter is the ruler of the Wheel of Fortune, right? This is something that is expanding in and changing in time of destiny. You can't force destiny. Destiny shows up when it's supposed to. Right on time. Every time, right on time. So maybe you should wait before you settle down, because I feel like you're not really willing to make a decision right now. We do have the Eight of Cups and the Two of Swords, detached from making a decision, feeling blocked from making a decision, but you see that we have full moons there. Maybe you need to wait for the full moon, the next full moon. I don't even know when that is. Maybe you have to wait till the next full moon before you make a decision. Because I feel like with the Queen of Wands in the reverse, it feels like you're not really feeling like you want to pursue this just yet. Look, we're going to go into the extended and we're going to talk more about this. Talk about your observation and what you might feel could be regretful if you don't do it. Because look, you already are happy. I feel like you already are happy. You don't require external validation. You're happy on the inside, the outside. You built your happiness all by yourself. So I don't think it's necessarily something that you need. I think the question is, am I ready to take a leap of faith and have someone move into my house? Or am I ready to be vulnerable? Right? Am I ready to do that? Because with the Knight of Cups here and the Ten of Pentacles, it tells me I got to do it for the duration. This isn't just a one date thing. This isn't once a week thing. This is going to be like for the duration. But I still think you're carrying a wound from long ago. So let's go into the extended. If you want to be there, please look at the top of the comment section. There is one pinned comment. If you click on read more, you will see a link to the membership area where I actually just did a reading just for the membership. And also that's where all the extendeds go. So if you're interested in having 4 extendeds in a month, if you watch one sign, if you watch more, you'll have more, of course. But if you're interested in doing that, please click on the membership link and join us there. If you're interested in a private reads are open. If you're interested in a private read, then please do that. By clicking on the link to Hypsee. I do pre-recorded reads as well as live reads. So pre-recorded reads begin at $25 and go up from there. And the reads that are live, you can book those in advance. And when you do, you will get between 5 and 75% off your reading. Let's have a conversation. I'm going to go for now. I'm going to go into the extended. And if you'd like to be there, now you know how to get there. I'm going to go for now, Cancer. Take care of yourself. I'm out. See you then. Bye-bye.